Yeah. The deuce. The deuce is loose. All right. Ooh, boy. I will not get too excited about Summer League. That's what I tell myself, right? I will not get too excited about Summer League. I will not get too excited about Summer League. I don't know. 22 points on 9 shots? Makes it kind of tough. Makes it kind of tough to not get too excited. So Knicks win this one. They go to 2-1 in Summer League, and they're in prime position to, I guess, enter the Summer League playoffs. I think there is such a thing with a good seed. I thought this was, for these kids, I don't know about for the franchise's greater goals, but for the kids on this team, I thought this game was really important. Like this was a good game. Lakers were making shots, Lakers were making plays. And the Knicks hit some big shots down the stretch, made some big plays down the stretch. Forgotten NYC, the Deuce man coming. He's coming to New York City, baby. All the way from West Virginia with a stopover in Vegas. Man, did anybody besides Quickly and Deuce score for like the last? It seemed like they scored the last. I don't know how many Knick points, but it seemed like they scored a bunch of them. Man, super chat's already blazing. Robert Cross. Is it reasonable to say, whatever this is, it is not going to be reasonable to say. Is it reasonable to say that we have the best young talent in the league? That's a big statement. Chicken cullets because we're going to eat all season long. We hear. Well, we definitely still hear. Best young talent in the league. It's kind of an amorphous saying. I don't really know how to take that. I think if you're looking at guys on rookie contracts, let's see. I mean, this Deuce thing, let's say this. The Deuce thing is now a thing. It's now officially a thing. But then again, look, we had a Kevin Knox thing 3 years ago. That didn't turn out to be anything. So there's a long way to go, but I'm going to talk about his game a little bit more in a second, but it's a thing now. It's a thing that now bears watching. Like Knick fans, those who are real Knick fans, which all of you obviously are, because it's 12:21 a.m. and we are, and there's 200 people watching me here. All of us are going to be now looking and seeing what this kid does from now on, and we're going to want him to play during the regular season. I don't know how he's going to get minutes during the regular season, but if he keeps this up, he's probably going to need to play. Robert McGinley. It's Summer League, but if it translates, Deuce may turn out to be what we hoped Frank would develop into. I know, just let me overreact. Someone on Twitter, I could probably go find it actually, just said, made the comment to me, and if this person is on here, let us know, and I will shout them out. That Deuce is like basically Marcus. Oh, here we go. Sakine Curtain. Marcus Smart 2.0 with a much better offensive game coming out of college. Smart had a pretty good offensive game in college. It just the shooting never really translated to the pros. It seems like McBride's gonna be able to shoot it. Again, it bears repeating. He took 6 3-pointers tonight. He did not miss. I think he only missed 1 or 2 shots in his second game. Shit. To go with, by the way, 7 rebounds and 5 assists. Again, the overall game, like the 3-pointers for me tonight were like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. If he could do that in if he gets regular season action. Well, actually, the threes will probably be what keeps him on the floor. What will get him on the floor is all the other stuff that he did. And man, I was like taking notes because I clipped plays for the newsletter, obviously, the next day. And so when he took the ball, momentarily, and then he ended up getting it back from the guy down low. He just grabbed the ball right out of his arms. And then there was a shot, got the ball back, full court pass to Obi Toppin for the easy lay-in. His first 2-pointer, I think it was his first 2-pointer, really, really quick move to the hoop, really super impressive. The block that got called a foul, first of all, it wasn't a foul. Second of all, his reaction timing, I tweeted this out, when he realized that he was the help man and he sprinted over there and he got there in time, and that was a clean block. His defensive possession at the end of the first half, I thought was fantastic. Had a really nice pass to Obi for another, I think it was an Obi 3 in the beginning of the maybe third quarter. I think it was third quarter. I lost track. And then Obi couldn't complete the play, but fourth quarter, ball was going out of bounds. Who jumps out and flicks it to Obi Toppin, who then loses the ball. We'll talk about Obi in a bit. Is Deuce McBride. To say nothing of the fact that he hit, I thought was, in terms of momentum, the biggest 3 of the game. Quickly had some really big plays down the stretch, and we'll talk about Quickly too. But when the Lakers kind of made a run, and again, this is summer league, but it matters to these guys. When the Lakers were making a run, Deuce hit that 3 that kind of, the Knicks could breathe a sigh of release. I think it was either it tied the game or whatever it was. Yeah. So just, I have nothing more to say about Deuce McBride. He's awesome. Let me get to the rest of the super chats here. Yes, if you're here right now, you're allowed to overreact. That is the official rule. Okay. Oh man, you guys are. This is the best fan base in the world. Jeremy E. Third rule of summer league: it's impossible not to get overly excited about summer league. That's good. That is the third rule of summer league. Slacker hero, Deuce and Quickly show at the end, very special. Yeah, I agree, very special. I mean, listen, we're paying attention to Deuce as we should. He's the new kid on the block, the new show in town. Quickly continues to be too good for this shit. I know he didn't, like, it's funny to say this. He had 25 points tonight, 25 he finished with 25 points on 15 shots. Didn't even feel like he had a great game. Like, he had some turnovers. He missed a couple that you probably would like to have back, and 25 points on 15 shots. He's too good for this. I'll be very curious to see, will the Knicks, quote unquote, like, go for the summer league championship, and will they play? Because Quickly doesn't, I don't want to say he's not benefiting from this, because this is a great opportunity for him to play point guard. So they should probably keep playing him, but he's the best player on the floor in all of these games. Let's keep going with the super chats. You guys are awesome. We're over 600 strong in here. It's 12:30 at night. It's unbelievable. The Flying Machine Collective. What I really saw tonight was Quickly and Obi knowing how to close a game. Playoff experience was invaluable for them. Deuce will get minutes. I thought Obi, you look at the stat line, 17 points on 17 shots. He obviously missed a couple that, I don't know if it's you want him to go up harder, because he seems like he's going up pretty hard. Is it you want him to show a little bit more patience? Would you like him to draw maybe an additional foul or two? Obi is the guy that he strikes me as a guy who is benefiting from this, because it's allowing him to work out some things on the fly that he did not get a chance to work out last season for the team, because he just didn't have the opportunity. He was essentially a guy who just hung out on the 3-point line, and he had a move or two a game where he'd get to do something. Here, he's actually getting a chance to do shit, and we're seeing it's still kind of a work in progress, because even this version of him is different than the version of him that was at Dayton, where they would just kind of dump it down to him and he would create something, from the block or whatever, or he'd be catching lobs. This is more him, like, he's really on the move a lot, which I like to see it. I like where this is going. Don't kill me for this. There was like for a second in my brain tonight watching Obi, I was like, man, in terms of just like the uncertainty on the not uncertainty on the offensive end, but like the lack of just finesse in what he's able to do on the offensive end. He's still trying to figure it out. I was like, yeah, is this like Kevin Knox esque? And then I'm like, no, because Obi's motor is supreme, and he does have a much better sense of the game already than I think Knox ever has shown at the pro level. So that thought went in one ear and quickly out the other. Okay, I'm gonna talk about how Deuce gets minutes in a bit. Brian Benjamin, this may be a bit early to discuss, and if so, punt on this question. But what's up with Grimes? It's too early to discuss. I had someone message me earlier that it looks like maybe his body's not ready for the NBA game. The shot's a little off. He was 3 for 9, 2 for 8 from deep. He looks like a rookie. I mean, there's a reason the kid was mocked. So we should say the Knicks drafted Grimes at 25. They drafted McBride at 36. If you paid attention to mock drafts leading up to the draft, and who knows what mock drafts are worth, most people had McBride going in like the mid to late 20s, and they had Grimes going in the 30s. And then only towards the very end after McBride's combine show, or not McBride, after Grimes' combine showing, did Grimes move up, into like, you're going to need to pick this kid in the first round if you want him. I'm not worried yet. He's, he fits the archetype. At the end of the day, if he can make threes, he's going to be a valuable player. I think the defense will come around. Will the defense come around this year? I'm not as certain if the defense comes around this year on McBride quickly or on Grimes. McBride, the defense is there right now. Kevin Danishevsky, what's going on, Kevin? Does Deuce's emergence mean that we do not want to see Vildoza? So for anybody who doesn't know, by the way, Vildoza was hurt. He was hurt in the last game. He only played 4 minutes in the last game. Did not play tonight. He's listed as day-to-day. Wouldn't shock me if we didn't see Vildoza again in the summer league. Anyway, because I think he's going to be really good. Also, slightly concerned about Obi. I'm not concerned about Obi. He'll be fine. He's going to figure stuff out. He just needs time. He needs time. He needs experience, and this is exactly what he should be getting. With Vildoza, so they signed Dwayne Bacon obviously the other day. They now have one more player than they're allotted, because you only get 15 roster spots. We don't know if Bacon is non-guaranteed. Maybe he is. I don't know. Bacon can't sign a two-way. I'm sure Vildoza does not want to sign a two-way. I don't know, especially if and this is going to be a big topic between now and the season starting. If they trust quickly to be the backup point guard, excuse me, not the backup. In my mind, we already have like two co-starting point guards between Walker and Rose. So when I say backup point guard, I mean for all the games that Walker sits and all the games that Rose sits, because Rose is going to sit games too. So whatever, quickly, if they trust quickly to be the point guard behind their two main guys, and then they also have Deuce. The thing about Vildoza, and I mentioned this to my buddy Bernard, recently, which is that he was used to playing big minutes for a really, really, really good team in Europe. So it's not just a matter of like, is there a place on the roster for Vildoza? There's probably still a place on the roster for Vildoza. You can never have too many point guards. But does he want to be in a situation where he goes 2, 3, 4 games in a row getting like DNP CD? Maybe I don't know. Maybe he just wants to go live in New York. I have no idea. But like, I don't know. There's something. It seems to be headed in that way, and yet today it's like there's been no buzz about him getting cut from any of the beat writers. They sent him his happy birthday tweet today, so happy birthday. I don't know. I don't really know what to do with that. But I definitely want to see more Deuce. But who knows? Maybe Vildoza is a good player. Oh man, so you guys are active tonight, man. This is crazy. Okay, I think I'm caught up here. Shotgun. I think Trey is more fitting than Deuce. LOL. It might be. I like what you did there. It's amazing that he hit all of us. I was convinced that last one was going to miss because I was like, this will be too perfect if he makes this, and he made it. Robert Cross, again, shout out, my man. I know this is NBA Summer League, but is it reasonable to say that we owned the NBA draft this year? A little too early for that. Let's one step at a time. But Deuce is a player. Deuce is a player for sure. David Germoso. Deuce plays D like a DB, looking like Revis. Man, he doesn't mess around. I'm excited to see Tom Thibodeau deploy him in some fun and interesting ways, and really sick him on some opposing ball handlers. Basically like kind of what he wanted Frank to be last year. It's, man, the parallels. Sam Roth, Deuce has Mike Conley potential. Let's go. Wow. Mike Conley was the 4th pick in the draft. He's a really good player. Just made an all-star team. One step at a time. Again, if he hits, who the hell knows? But I would love to see that. Overratedness. Mike Conley's got some handles too, I should say, and some passing vision. Overratedness. I can't believe we might be getting what we thought we wanted from Lonzo from our second rounder. I only want Leon, the Don Rose propaganda. I mean, it is now 2 years in a row that they 3 years in a row, I guess, between Mitch. The Knicks are really making this a trend, right? The Knicks are making this a trend of having their second pick in every draft become, the better guy. Although I guess RJ was the first pick. So Iggy Brazdeikis, all due respect to him, he's not better than RJ Barrett. But between Mitch, between Quickly, and now obviously with McBride, yeah, they are kind of making a habit out of this. Is he Lonzo? I mean, he certainly seems to shoot it better than Lonzo did when he came out. But Lonzo was special for other reasons. Lonzo's a unique player. I think McBride, I defensively, the Marcus Smart comp, smaller Marcus comp for sure, but Marcus Smart's built like a linebacker. But like that type of defense, to me, still probably more of a combo guard. I'm not sure he's really gonna run a team, but we'll see. Listen, combo guards they're pretty damn valuable in the league today. The Neils next door. Shout out to the Neils next door or otherwise. I appreciate you for taking the time to go live regardless of the time. What else am I going to do? Obi had a good matchup playing him physical, which is going to be really helpful for his development. Let Grimes be a rookie. Yes. I can't say this enough. Obi, this is exactly what he needs. Give him all the opportunity to go up and try crazy shit, driving to the rim and being a little out of control. That's one guy who, we always talk about being in the right environment for a rookie. And I do think it was for the best that Obi entered a situation where he got to experience that level of accountability and he knew he was only getting 12 minutes. He had to earn every one of those minutes. But at the same time, he's such a hard worker. He's such a good kid. I'm not saying that didn't benefit him, but I wonder, would he have been, I'm happy we have Obi. I want to see what he does. Would he have been better off in a situation like Oklahoma City where, not anything at stake, but good infrastructure, good organization, and he would have played, 30 minutes a night there last year. Would have worked out a lot of kinks. This is why situation matters. Quickly got time. Quickly played 1,300 minutes. Toppin played about half that. But we'll see. I wrote a little bit, on it today. They got to figure out a way to get Toppin, I don't know, 18 minutes a game, 20 minutes a game. I think he's ready. I think he's good. I think I believe in the shot. I mean, he was 2 of 6 tonight. We'll see. Alan Berman. Kelvin Sampson's comments on Grimes were a good indication. Yes, for anybody who missed those, go check out. I think it was Berman today. Kid needs to learn how to be a piece and not the focal point. Give him time. That's really hard for some of these guys. Like, I know Grimes kind of reinvented himself over the last few years at Houston, but he's still, he was still the best offensive player on a Final Four team. So for him now to go to a guy who just like for the next 2 years, all that kid needs to do is just lock himself in a gym and shoot whatever 500 threes a day. That's his job. If he could get money from three, then move on to the other shit and get bigger and get there on defense. Shout out to everybody. 800 people here. Thanks for everybody for the thumbs ups. Just wild, wacky stuff. We are really insane. This is all nuts. Make sure I got everybody in the super chat. Oh God, we got some more. Salute Revis Island. Yes, Revis Island. I saw that. That was very good. Okay, here we go. 2 more, and then I think I'm caught up. Eric Gold. The mentorship on this team makes me so happy. It makes me happy too. Quickly gets it. Obi gets it. All of these guys get it. McBride after the game said, "I've watched a lot of Kemba film." Talk about speak of the devil, mentorship. Like we're talking about Quickly and Obi being mentors. How about the type of mentor, like Emmanuel? Think about this for a second. Emmanuel Quickly and Deuce McBride get to go into training camp. Quickly already experienced Derrick Rose as a mentor. Now McBride gets to walk into training camp and he gets to be mentored by a former MVP and a 4-time All-Star. 2 of the best 10 point guards to play in the league in the last 20 years. Unbelievable opportunity. Great job by the Knicks. I just again, we always talk about who's the star that we're going to trade for. What are we going to give up for him? It's just they're doing something nice here with this development and the whole thing. And it's just you'd love to see it continue. The Jay Will Show. I see Drew Holiday potential more than anything for McBride. So Drew Holiday's interesting because Drew Holiday, he is 6'1", 6'1", 6'2". McBride's same height. Long wingspan like Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is, I think, I forget what podcast I was listening to a couple weeks ago. God, I get my podcast mixed up. It was one of the big ones on ESPN, Low or Windy or something. And they were talking about how other players talk about Holiday as the most difficult defensive matchup in the league. Maybe not the best defensive player in the league, but like if you're on the perimeter and he's on you, there's no one tougher. So that's pretty lofty praise. Listen, that said, here's the thing. If you want your combo guard ceiling, Drew Holiday, defense first combo guard ceiling, Drew Holiday is your ceiling. And he was just the 3rd best player on a championship team. Let's just hope McBride could be a rotation player. I'll take rotation player right now. And then we'll go from there. Okay, we got some really super generous contributions to the super chat. Robert Cross, come on, man, Robert Cross. So just sign up for the Ewing Patreon, Let's show our support. Summer League title is coming. Building the culture. We here. God, you know me. I get blown away by this stuff. Thank you, Robert. We appreciate you and contribution and all of our patrons. If any patrons are in here checking us out right now, again, over 800 strong on a Thursday morning at this point. Yes, we just recorded a couple Patreon episodes over the last few days. They will be coming your way over the coming weeks. We have our first live look-in for all of our Ewing tier members who are going to get a chance to, if they want to, come be a part of our Zoom recording of our Sunday podcast that comes out on Monday. So that's cool. And then we do town halls. We do all kinds of fun stuff. So, yeah, if you want to get on the Patreon bandwagon, by all means. Kevin McHugh, my main man. Kevin, I didn't forget about you. I'm going to be getting in touch at some point before the end of the summer. We'll see if we can get something going with what you do, with the dance group. Shout out to you. We're up at 12:40 a.m. talking about summer league games. Yes, we are. This is new and different, but I love it. Deuce is amazing. Looks like a special player. Definitely a special mentality. IQ is ridiculous. What do you think about the center Sims? I thought Sims did something. Here's my thought about Sims. Sims, he didn't have an eye-popping game. He finally missed a shot. So what did he? I think he was 3 or 4 tonight. So he is now 6. I think he's either like 13 for 14 or 14 for 15, I think, something like that for summer league. Not bad. He had a move in the second half that Mitchell Robinson, God bless him, Nerlens Noel, God bless him, neither of those guys have ever done, or at least not in a Knick uniform, what Sims did, which was take a hard dribble and then put it up with a nice finger roll. Man, he's got some potential. I think maybe we were getting a little ahead of ourselves with there are people out there with takes about it makes like Mitch expendable. No, it doesn't make Mitch expendable. It's you got a long way to go. Center is a tough position to play. It takes a year to get things under your belt. But I like him. I like him as a developmental prospect. I'm excited to see him in the G League this year. I hope they utilize that because he's on a 2-way, obviously. So, yeah, man, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for Jericho Sims. I think he's a good player. And again, I think I said it on I don't know. I said it at some point. Sam Vecini, who I respect his opinions a lot. He had Sims ranked 46th on his board. He said he was higher on him than most people, but he's a good player. Darth Dream, Bumbo Clad D. There we go. Bumbo Clad D. Knicks win. Yes, they do. Bumbo Clad forever. What else we got here? I think we've talked about a lot of stuff. Let's see if I Wayne Selden, I'm just going through the box score here. Wayne Selden, thank you for participating in the summer league. It's just sometimes it's not, it's not your time. We talked about Toppin a little bit. Just talked about Sims, Grimes, McBride. Yeah, Jacobatus, Hakabatus. I don't know. He had a cameo. He made 3 or 4 field goals. Nice little game. Probably going to play in Europe this year, but that's fine. I thought Rokas was good. Shout out to Spencer Goss. Thank you for your contribution. We appreciate it. I probably didn't talk about quickly enough. So again, I'll end with 2 things. With Emmanuel Quickly, I know Kemba's here. I know Rose is back. Obviously, we signed Fournier. I know Burks is back. I think Quickly is going to play a major, major, major role for this team. I think there has been some, wondering about whether Quickly's role is going to get diminished. I think it's going to be the opposite. I will say right here and right now, that kid just whatever it is, I know we talked about McBride a lot earlier. Whatever it is, Quickly's got it. And if there's one guy that I want to root for in a Knick uniform for a very long time, it's that kid, because that kid he's a special kid. And then last thing on Deuce, to answer the question that was asked a while ago, how does he get time? I think they're going to sit Kemba, so I went through like some past schedules. There's usually about a dozen back-to-backs in any given season. I don't know how many there's going to be in this year. Schedule hasn't come out yet. Let's assume there's 12. Let's assume Kemba sits all of those out, the back-to-backs, or the first or second half of back-to-back. And maybe sits out a couple more games. Rose has missed at least 16 games in each of the last 3 years. So he's going to miss games too. Like, there's going to be 30, maybe more games for a third-string point guard to get real time. I think Quickly's probably going to be that guy, but we've already seen Tibbs feel very comfortable last year with Rose and Quickly essentially having 2 point guards on the floor at once. I think what we're likely to see, and who knows if it's going to come to fruition, but what we're likely to see is, I bet McBride is a guy who will get some DMPs, but he will also have nights where he plays essentially the role that Quickly played last year in terms of 18 minutes, right? That would be my guess. And who knows, maybe he's so good that he forces his way into the normal rotation. But Tibbs, here's the thing. Tibbs doesn't play more than 10 guys. Like, he stretched himself last year playing, a 10-man rotation. If you go back through his history, very rarely has Tibbs played a 10-man rotation. He did last year. I expect him to do it again. So I think it's going to be when other guys sit that McBride really, really gets the time. Is Deuce better than Grimes? Yeah, he might be. Okay. I think that's it. This was a lot of fun. These are the nights that make you like. These are the nights you think about when you're like, man, this team, this friggin' team, summer league, and you get excited like it's game 65 or whatever it is. Thanks for joining. Don't forget, check out pods the rest of this week. Patreon, I already said. 200 likes. How about that? 200 likes on a Wednesday morning. Unbelievable. You guys are the best. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will be back with you after the game on Friday night, when hopefully we'll go to 3-1. All right. Adios, guys.